Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if something's in the water or what, but these celebrities have been jumping off the deep end, wilding out, if you will. So just recently, it hit the media and everybody was tilting their heads, scratching their heads, because it came out that apparently Lizzo was being accused of fat shaming her backup dancers. Now, I saw that and I was like, what in the irony is going on here? And it just doesn't stop at that, y'all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Allegedly, she was also being accused by said backup dancers, and I believe also her dance captain, if I'm not mistaken, were being allegedly accused of a plethora of things, which basically all included, allegedly, a hostile work environment, an overly sexual work environment, abuse, basically, in different forms. Y'all, there is just so much to unpack in this, but we're going to start from the beginning. I think we need to have a serious conversation about this whole body positivity thing, fat shaming thing, and whole thing that some women have taken up these days with exposing their bodies and saying that they're being confident and all this kind of stuff. Can we have an honest conversation without somebody getting, their feelings hurt or offended? Like I said earlier in the video, whenever I heard that she was being accused of fat shaming her backup dancers, I thought that was complete and utter irony. A lot of people were saying that they did not expect something like that from her, especially after everything that we've seen her go through publicly, taking to the internet every time somebody has made a comment about her body shape or her weight. People have come to her defense and they said, you know what, it's not okay to talk about somebody. You don't know her like that. She could be having, health problems that has caused her to be this way. She is a musician, dancer, and singer. You see her dancing on stage. She has to practice, so she's getting exercise in, So, and some people will say, well, it's not always about the exercise, it's about what you eat. But still, I don't know her personal business like that. All I can tell people is to be healthy. Don't be overweight, don't be underweight. Do the best you can to exercise and eat healthy, like I said before. And whatever you're supposed to look like, whatever God made you to look like, you will look like that. And I wish people would get off of this idea that it's something wrong to look like a certain way or to not live up to some kind of whack standard that who has put out, the industry, some people that you don't even know that do nothing for you. I'm real adamant about leave people alone about what they look like. If God made somebody tall, short, thick, thin, whatever, he made us all beautifully and wonderfully, okay? There's nothing wrong with the way God made us, the way God shaped us. The issue is these people out here who have the audacity to try to make it seem like you're only beautiful or acceptable if you're shaped a certain way. You have a right to feel how you want to feel about how somebody is shaped, their physical appearance. You also have the right to keep your opinions, because that's what they are and always will be, to yourself. We ought to all have a mutual respect for everybody, for each other, despite what we look like, despite how we feel about what somebody looks like. You ain't gotta like what somebody looks like. What you feel about that person's physical appearance does not matter, doesn't amount to a hill of beans. But if you can't respect them, something is wrong with you. Anyways, though, I found it very odd that Lizzo, like I said, the main person who was really quick to get on the internet and be very upset and express her emotions on people commenting about her weight, was out here shaming somebody, first of all, and shaming somebody literally, no shade, that was shaped the same way she is. Now, I wasn't completely surprised by this, but I was shocked by her audacity, if I'm being completely honest. Now, for all the individuals that were surprised, it's probably because they don't know how trauma, insecurity, and projection works. Now, let me say this first. The kind of people who go out and they're overly sexualized and they really like exposing their bodies and they're saying, oh, I'm doing this because I'm so confident in what I have, usually that's not actually confidence. It's one of two things. One, either you just want to expose your body because you just want to expose your body and you want people to look at you and lust after you because you have some kind of problem. Or it is an insecurity masquerading as confidence, because anybody who's confident in what they have, they don't have to show the whole world. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. You don't have to show us anything that you got. As a matter of fact, it's a lot more confident to say, I already know what I have and I don't have to show the whole world. Nobody else has to know. And it's a lot more alluring, if you will, when an individual leaves something up to the imagination. To just show everything all the time, it shows that you have something to prove or you're trying to prove something. And it's not to us, it's to yourself, aka your insecurities. So clearly, all of this stuff that she was talking about, how she's so confident, which she proved that she was not, whenever she would always come back after somebody would talk about her for being plus size and then being upset about it. Because if you didn't care about what they were saying, you wouldn't have been making those videos. This projection, like I said, I'm coming back to that one too. Her harassing these young women, allegedly, about their weight, shaming them. It's the projection. She felt that way about herself, and there was nothing anybody could say or do to make her feel differently because she didn't want to feel differently. She had to choose to feel better about herself, confident about herself. Yes, it takes time and it takes effort, but you've got to be willing to put in the work. But she was not. So instead, she decided to project how she felt onto these women, and they didn't deserve that at all. That's why I've constantly said this whole women empowerment, we're looking out for each other, we're uplifting each other, protect black women, protect colored women. All of it is a joke because when it comes to people's personal insecurities and how they feel about themselves, and you, God forbid, if you have anything on you, a part of you, about you that they want, all that's going in the trash. They're going to make you the subject and the object of their abuse. Now, remember I said, ladies and gentlemen, that was only the tip of the iceberg. These women were allegedly also suing this woman because she created a hostile work environment, allegedly, according to these young women. Now, I understand and I know what that's like, and trust me, it's not fun. And shame on any employer or anybody who does that to somebody, because now as an employee, you got to worry about, okay, well, if I don't do what they want me to, or if I don't go along with these shenanigans, am I going to lose my job? Which is what one of these young women was expressing, that allegedly she had created such a just awkward environment by just being overly sexual. And that's another thing that I really need to address and point out. People were praising her for her overly sexualness. And I keep saying, this is not something that y'all really want. It's really not. Y'all don't understand the kind of insecurities and the problems and the toxic traits and the evil spirits people move in when they are involved in that kind of lifestyle. It's all fun and games and it looks cute from the surface. But behind closed doors, the people who have to deal with these people when they are acting this way, it's not fun, because she was allegedly making these women do crazy stuff. She would go out to apparently nude clubs or whatever they're called and have them doing all kinds of sexual activities that they did not want to participate in. That's no better than harassment of the you know what kind. She pressured this young woman, one of her dancers, into doing something that she was not comfortable with doing, and she was afraid that she was going to lose her job if she didn't do it. Now, before anybody tries to make any excuses for this or tries to, reduce any kind of empathy for these young women by saying some mess like, well, they work in the entertainment industry, they're dancers. Let me stop you right there. Yes, they're backup dancers. They're not strippers. And even in that case, we're not excusing any kind of foul play or foul behavior. These young women do what they love to do for a living. They dance. Now, am I agreeing with it? Not completely. But they are dancing for a living, okay? They didn't sign up to be harassed. They didn't sign up to be put through the ringer through these kind of issues, okay? And they should not be exposed to that kind of stuff in that kind of environment, especially if that's not what they wanted to do. It's not even a part of their job description. But anyways, like I said, I feel like a lot of these problems and a lot of these celebrities, they are monsters created by the culture. Like I said, all that body positivity, you telling her, if you want to be overly sexualized, don't throw stones and judge people for wanting to be overly sexualized. No, they need to be judged, because this is the kind of stuff that comes out of it. When you let this kind of stuff go unchecked and you encourage it, they then victimize other people with it. That's how it always goes. That's how it's always going to be. People just don't want to see it because they don't want to be called out for their wrong for supporting these celebrities in these whack, crazy mentalities that they have and that they support. This is why I make it my point, my mission, if you will, to call out this kind of stuff. People don't want to admit it, but this is where it leads to. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.